Hey everybody, Mike here. Wanted to take a break from the home tours for a moment and put up a video giving you a little bit of an update on what's been going on and what you can do and what we're doing here about the fires on Maui. Um, since that happened last week, it's been just a string of just bad news. And unfortunately, it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Death counts are over 100. Um, what we're hearing from people on the ground out there, it's not going to go up by digits. It's going to go up by orders of magnitude. Um, there's a lot, hundreds of missing people. So it's already the worst fire in United States history in the last 100 years. Um, it's one of those things that's really just hard to wrap your head around. Here on the Big Island, we're fine. We had some fires. Best of my knowledge, there's been no loss of life or property. It's just been fires that went across fields. Maui obviously wasn't so fortunate. On the day it happened here in Kona, it was just a typical Kona day. We didn't even have high winds. And so it's just really weird, just not far away as you're driving around, you can see the island of Maui here. Just the absolute destruction and just hell that those folks were going through. Um, there's a lot going on now. The state's pretty overwhelmed. I say state, I mean the government's pretty overwhelmed with what to do. They're doing the best they can, but obviously with the numbers that we're seeing here of loss of life, displaced people, loss of property, it's just really tough to wrap your head around. They're doing the best they can, but as usual, the local community here in Hawaii steps up for each other. So that's what's going on now. I'm going to tell you about a couple things that we're doing here. First of all, I would like to say for anyone who's on the mainland, don't come to Maui right now. When Maui's ready for you, they'll tell you to come back. I know you're going to hear some other things on social media with some people saying, hey, we still need the tourism dollars. That's true, but wait for them to officially welcome you back. Do not try to convince yourself that you're coming there and spending money on a scuba dive tour is going to help. It's just not the right time. Maui will tell you officially when they're ready for you to come back to Maui. Right now, my understanding is the state is putting people in hotels that would normally be servicing tourists. So if tourists come to hotels, you're taking away housing for someone who literally has the clothes on their back, and that's it. So donations, they're actually asking us to kind of stop donations of physical items right now. There may be time for that later. They're still working on distribution channels of getting things out, so they're having a tough time with that. We saw similar problems on a much smaller scale and on an incremental scale during the 2018 eruption, so that's understandable. And like 2018, the community's coming together and doing a lot of the work. So number one, don't go to Maui. Number two, financial assistance is always going to be welcome. I'm going to have some links down in the description below that have some places where you can give money. We gave our money to the Hawaii Community Foundation Maui Strong Fund. I chose them because I know it's a local foundation and 100% of the money will stay here. There's a lot of great national organizations that do things across the spectrum nationally, and when you give them money, it could go to anyone nationally. So if it's important to you that the money stays here in Hawaii, that's one that I can recommend. When I was working with a nonprofit here, getting grants, they were great to work with in providing grant stuff. So I can highly recommend the Hawaii Community Foundation, the Maui Strong Fund. The National Association of Realtors, us here in the real estate community, just the other day secured $1.5 million in funding for housing assistance. I believe that's going to be dispersed out in $3,000 increments per month to families in need of housing assistance. And we're going to do that till it runs out, and then we're going to ask for more. It's going to run out, I would think, relatively quickly for the people who need money for housing assistance. That's money going straight to housing. There's not an admin cost on that. It's going through the Hawaii Association of Realtors, charitable foundations that we have already in place. And it's being administered by people with Realtor Association of Maui. That's the local board of realtors there who have the networks and the resources and the people there to make sure things are getting into the right hands. The other thing that we're doing, and this is another area where some of you may be able to help, is we're providing, we're matchmaking people who need houses with people who have houses that are empty and space to give. And I mean give, not to rent out. So you can go to, again, links are going to be down below. I think we have that website. We just got that up and running, MauiKokua.com, and they will put you with, if you have somewhere to donate, they'll find someone pretty soon who can go in there. And this is an example of how what we can do is realtors can be a real help. The state is just literally collecting names and then telling people, call these names to see if you can find a place. And of course, that's going to be a tough situation. You're going to get 400 calls a day after he's already had his place given out. So that's a frustrating process. So we're hoping this database helps out in some way. And then finally, there has been some stuff in social media about people, and it's often said as realtors trying to buy up property, land grabs and stuff like that. I don't talk about a whole lot. I am in a position of leadership at our state association. We have about, I think, 10 or 12,000 members. I'm one of, I think, 11 or 13 directors for our state association. We have not found any realtors specifically going out there trying to scoop up people's property when they're in distress. We have seen some mainland investors who send out their mailers on an ongoing periodic basis that had already gotten sent out, and actually some local investors and realtors who always send postcards out. Some of you own property here, get postcards all the time. Had sent postcards out to areas that had been impacted. The postcards obviously went out beforehand or got ordered beforehand. I've done postcards before. It takes 2 to 4 weeks before they actually hit mailboxes. So things that come in your mail, 2 or 3 days after the fire in Maui, while obviously very angering, it was not done after the fire that they sent that out. So kind of want to dispel the rumors on that. If you do actually hear of an individual real estate agent trying to do some truly opportunistic buying, you can report them not only to the Realtor Association of Maui for their grievance process, but also the Regulated Industries Compliance or Complaints Office at the state of Hawaii that covers state licensing. Just as speaking as a realtor, I can't imagine someone doing it because it's just a stupid way to try and do business. It would obviously fail. So I just can't imagine someone actually doing that intentionally, but I guess I've been surprised before. Stay safe out there. Keep Maui in your thoughts. Listen, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. This is going to impact Maui forever. I can't imagine Lahaina being rebuilt in the next 5 years. They're going to have to take years to figure out what they even want it to look like. So there's going to be a need on down the road. Maybe think of ways that you can give that are lasting, but keep Maui in your thoughts. And maybe we'll have another update. I feel like we're kind of at a place here now where we're into the recovery phase, and that's where it is. So be safe out there. I wish I had better news for you. I wish I could say the corner's been turned, but I do think things are going to be worse before they're better, unfortunately. And we'll see you soon.